Hello, everybody. So, I have another interesting and wildly bizarre case for you. I don't have a whole lot of information on it, whether it's because not a whole lot of information has been released or simply because of the fact that it is an unsolved, uh, basically missing persons case. There's not a whole lot of information. I also don't have too many photos, but it is kind of bizarre, and I have some thoughts. And honestly, I hadn't even heard of Jared Shadid before. I found his case while researching for another case, and I was reading an article on him, and I was like, oh my gosh, I absolutely must talk about him. And that is what we're going to be doing today. So, all the links that I used to research will be down below, like always. There will also be a link to a case suggestions form, and let's just go ahead and get into this. So, Jared, who was 27 at the time, is an immigration lawyer based in Washington, D.C. He grew up in Queens, New York, and graduated from an Ivy League school. His friends describe him as an explorer who loved to travel and would do so alone. They also said he's responsible and he would share his locations with others. So, like your phone location, I think it's like Find My Friends or something. I don't have an iPhone, so I don't know. He would do that kind of thing. So he was a very responsible person when traveling alone. And keep that in mind because basically this is going to be the story of him going on a trip alone. Jared went on a road trip to the West Coast in 2023, so very recently, and checked himself into a short term Airbnb in Seattle. Surveillance captured Jared on July 30th, bringing his luggage, computer, and phone into the Airbnb before leaving moments later, leaving all of his belongings behind. He was reported missing by the owner of the Airbnb when he called to police to say that his renter had never returned. In August, his SUV, which is a white 2022 Volkswagen, I think it's pronounced Tiguan, that has DC plates, was found in Los Angeles. His car had a parking ticket that indicated it may have been sitting at the discovery point since August 4th. There was no sign of him in Los Angeles or Seattle, though. And this is actually a quote from his cousin, Patrice Morgan. And they say, for him to go off the grid like this is very much unlike him and makes no sense. End quote. Because, like I just told you, like he's known to be a very responsible person. He keeps people in the loop as to where he's at all times, basically. So for him to basically just go off the grid, um, it's gonna throw up some red flags, which is basically what Patrice is saying. His friend, Sierra Dalton, she posted in a social media group for missing people that his apartment complex in Baltimore confirmed he had not made payment for rent since July 3rd, meaning he did not pay his August rent. Jared's family says that they have contacted local Seattle hospitals and mental health institutions to check for possible whereabouts. And, of course, as someone with a missing family member, this definitely makes sense. But then I read the next bit in this article that I was going over, and basically, Jared had quit his job before his trip sometime. I don't know how soon before. We just know that he had quit his job. Now remember, he was an immigration lawyer, and he quit this job that he obviously went to school for. Um, just to go on this trip. Now, maybe it's because he wasn't able to take time off or something, and he really wanted to do this trip. It's not unheard of for people to just quit their jobs to be able to do things that they want to do. But when I saw that, I was just like, does he have a history of mental illness? Perhaps I could not find that anywhere that uh he has a history of mental health issues, whether it's depression or something else. Um, but when I saw that, I was just like, it's kind of weird that he seems to have like what I would assume is a very nice job. Um, that he just quit to go on this trip. He leaves everything inside of this Airbnb and then just disappears. And then them saying like we're checking hospitals and mental health institutions is like, could suicide have been a possible? I don't know if I could say motive, but like a possible outcome here. It could be. Now, obviously, I did not see that theory anywhere. I just when they said like he quit his job, that gave me some red flags. So I wanted to just kind of put that out there, like in my own thoughts, what I was thinking. So his Airbnb history has also showed that he traveled to Forks, Washington, and Los Angeles before dropping his stuff off at the Seattle Airbnb. Sierra Dalton says that many of his friends hadn't heard from him since the previous December. And when I read that too, I was kind of like, okay, so he quit his job. He's not really keeping in contact with friends. And, keeping in contact with friends as an adult, uh, not everybody does it. Like, people have lives. I know that I can go weeks, even months without talking to friends, and then we just pick up where we left off. Um, so it's not super weird, but put together with the fact that he quit his job and he just disappears, it's kind of like, okay, so was he someone who kept in contact and then maybe he just stopped? I couldn't confirm or deny that. But that also just kind of like ran through my mind as well. So, because there's no digital trail, police have told the family that they need as much help as possible. So, um, here is a description of Jared. And he is of African American and Lebanese descent with brown eyes and hair. So, brown eyes and brown hair. He's 5'7", 150 pounds, and he has a dragon tattoo on his right calf, a Roman column on the inside of his arm, and a portrait of his mom on his shoulder. So, we have some very, unique features that you would know if it was him. In the Airbnb video, he is wearing a light blue shirt, black shorts, glasses, and he's carrying a black tote bag, and both of his ears are pierced as well. So we can assume that wherever he may be now, he could still be in that same outfit or a similar outfit. If you have any information on Jared or his whereabouts, or maybe you've seen him, obviously you need to get in contact with Seattle Police Department. And the phone number I have for them is 206-625-5011. Again, the phone number for the Seattle Police Department is 206-625-5011. And that is the case of Jared Shadid. So, like I said, not a whole lot of information because we really don't know. And I couldn't really find anything about theories or what people think happened to him. I couldn't really even find that many articles about this case to begin with. So I'm just going to give my theory, which is that I think it could be possible that he just wanted to leave his life behind. Because he quit his job. It seems like he left all of his belongings, his phone and everything behind in his Airbnb, when he doesn't usually do that. He doesn't seem to have been in contact with friends for at least a couple months or so. It kind of feels like maybe he just wanted to quit his life, maybe. That is the only thing I could think of. It could just have been like a random thing. He could have, just dropped his stuff off at his Airbnb, decided to go out for a little bit, um, had to go pick something up, like food or something real quick, and something could have happened to him while he was out. That is always a possibility. But part of me just has this nagging feeling that it was more or less just him wanting to just leave his life. Now, obviously, that is my opinion. That is not confirmed or anything like that. And we don't have any theories to support that. That is just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think down below. I'm very curious, but please be respectful like always. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to Jared's story. Hopefully this will get some people talking. And yeah, it'll just put his name and face out there, and maybe someone will remember something or go to police or anything like that, and something can come of it. But like I said, thank you so much for listening to his story, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.